Today we are doing a very highly requested video by you guys.
Yeah, we've had so many questions in the comments of a lot of different videos asking about whether or not we want to have children. And it's been really hard to even start making that video because everything surrounding our emotions and feelings on it are so complicated.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of complication in how we would become parents and if we can become parents, and there's a lot going on. So we are going to get into all of that. Before we get into how we would be going about that, can we have kids?
I believe historically you used to just basically believe you couldn't, right?
I thought that it would be extremely difficult to the point where I basically told exes and stuff that I could not have children, and I was telling myself that I didn't want children. And when Michael and I met, I told him that I don't think that I can have kids. It would just be way too complicated. And we have went our first 5 years of marriage, under the impression, well, not 5 years, but before we had talked about this and started taking steps, we were under the impression that we were not going to have kids. Mm-hmm. And we were fine with that, which I was surprised because Michael is so good with kids. He loves kids.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have always, my whole life, I have loved kids. I gravitate towards playing with kids at parties. It's just very fun for me. But in our relationship, it felt kind of like it was out of reach for us. We didn't really have a game plan, or maybe the drive for it.
We value our time, and we have loved traveling and doing all the things that we have in the last several years. But then we were kind of do we want kids? Do we want to be parents?
I feel like it kind of started with actually seeing people in our lives go through the processes of what it would take for us to have children, that it went from feeling like something that was just out of our reach entirely and we had accepted that to something that maybe was in our reach. I
do think it started when we started seeing couples with disabilities with children, and the fact that they are able to be parents and they just figure it out, and that some of them are giving birth to their children and learning about genetics more and being around people that have done IVF and all of that. The community that we were able to see really helped us to realize that we might have the capability to do this.
So I feel like within the last year, it's gone from us being okay with the fact that we probably would never have children to it's really something that we want to at least give a shot at, I think.
Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day, how I'm feeling about having kids or not having kids. And the truth is that I feel more scared at the thought of not having kids or not trying to have kids than actually having kids and having that commitment of parenting, even though it's a blessing, I know. But the thought of not going on that journey at all in our lives is scary to me.
Yeah.
When we had the realization that we did maybe want to become parents, we got my genetics tested.
What we found out was interesting because, as the doctor told us, what Amanda has is normally a recessive gene, and hers actually happens to be dominant. And since neither of her parents have it, that means she's a random mutation. And for us, what that means is that if we were to try to conceive naturally, there's a 50% chance that our child would have limb-girdle.
Yeah, exactly. So that made us think a lot. I know there's controversy of disability is not inherently a bad thing, and 50% chance. Some factors that we're weighing with that are treatments that are available or not available for my disability. It just really makes you think. Everybody that has a child, there is a chance that you have a child with a disability. That is always an option that could happen, but it did make us think about it a lot more, having a 50% like guaranteed chance that it would have limb-girdle muscular dystrophy. There are more complications than just considering disability and my genetics passing on. I also have had suspected endometriosis for a very long time and have dealt with very painful periods and a plethora of other symptoms.
Yeah.
Which has been the bane of my existence once a month for...
Yeah, it's rough. You really go through it.
It's one of the harder things I go through in life. And they just came out with a blood test to see if you have endometriosis. So I am going to be doing that blood test and figuring out if I do have it. And if I do, then maybe I'll pursue the exploratory surgery to see where it's grown exactly. So that could affect our ability to have kids. Another test that I can get done right now is the ovarian reserve test to see how many eggs I'm producing, or like, I'm not exactly sure, like it doesn't tell you like an amount, but like if your ovulation is really working.
Yeah, if everything's working, right?
Yeah, we haven't done a lot of research into it, honestly, because we have an appointment to talk to a doctor about it, and we will be getting a lot of new information very soon about it. With that information, we may be able to pursue IVF. We're not entirely sure.
If we're doing IVF, it's going to be very costly and very complicated, and honestly, we just need to get more information on everything so that we can make the best decision for us.
Yeah, there's a lot of information out there about IVF, but I feel like I don't know enough about my body, and I need to have a lot of panels done for blood work and hormones, and just...
Which is also your worst fear, because she hates needles.
Yeah, so IVF would be a lot of needles.
Mm-hmm.
Worth it, I think. Not I think, I know, but it does make me nervous. I wouldn't be finding out the information on it if I didn't think it was worth it. I can fight my phobias for a baby.
Mm-hmm. In summary, do we want to be parents?
Yeah, I would love to be a mom.
Yeah.
I think we'd be great parents. I would love to raise a child or two.
Or 6.
No. Maybe. We will be raising 1 or 2, and we will just have to see where the next step takes us with the blood work results. And we do plan on taking you guys along the journey with us and maybe providing information you guys didn't know if you were looking into having kids, or you just like being a fly on the wall, because I really like being a fly on the wall and learning things. Yeah. Our fertility and parenthood journey will be continued soon.
Stay tuned.